Amidst the snow-covered peaks of Mount Everest, where the air was thin and silence prevailed, hid an untold story. A story that carved its way through ice crevices and the harsh winds that constantly whipped the mountain surface. It was a group of brave mountaineers, led by the legendary mountain guide, Edward Travers, who decided to tackle the most treacherous summit. The tale began on a day when the sun barely penetrated thick clouds, and the cold wind raged. The team, comprised of experienced climbers, embarked on their ascent to the summit of Everest, eager to conquer the world's highest peak. Each had their own motivations, but they all brought their fears and secrets to the frozen mountain. As the team approached extreme altitudes, a strange sense of unease overcame the climbers. Their path was marked by ice pillars that seemed to transform into threatening shadows as the sun set. One of the climbers, David, started feeling a peculiar presence, and his dreams were filled with horrifying images of his past. Upon reaching the advanced base camp, the climbers were greeted by another group, their faces concealed by masks and eyes hidden beneath woolen hats. These Himalayan locals, known for their stories of mountain spirits, warned the climbers to turn back. However, Edward Travers, the unyielding guide, dismissed these warnings as mere superstitions. During the night, the team was awakened by strange sounds echoing from the mountain's peaks. Spectral images began to take shape amidst the ice crevices, and the climbers felt they were being watched by invisible eyes. Despite the freezing cold and harsh winds, Edward decided to press on with the ascent. As they approached the summit, the weather conditions became increasingly extreme. On a stormy day with almost zero visibility, the team got lost in an unknown area. A black, menacing shadow in constant motion followed the climbers through the mist. Every step was accompanied by strange whispers and echoes of their own voices, magnified by the grandeur of the mountain. David, the climber with haunting dreams, began to suffer from hallucinations. During a rest stop, he saw shadows of his tumultuous past amidst the snowstorm. In that moment, the team realized that Mount Everest was not just a massive expanse of rocks and ice, but also a living presence, hungry for stories and souls. As they reached the highest peaks, the climbers found themselves entangled in a maze of narrow crevices and deceptive rocks. A malevolent entity, referred to by a local as the Soul of Everest, made its presence felt, tormenting the climbers with illusions and terrifying dreams. One by one, members of the team began to succumb to the psychological pressure of the mountain, seeing themselves increasingly belonging to the icy landscape. David was the first to disappear into the dense fog, followed by other climbers who got lost in the dark shadows of Everest. Edward, the fearless guide, reached the summit alone, confronting the malevolent presence of Everest. In the midst of the storm, he felt the mountain revealing its dark secrets. Each step forward brought a confrontation with the ghosts of the past and the individual nightmares of each climber. On descent, Edward was no longer the same person. Everest had taken something from him, but he remained silent about what he had experienced up there. The team, or what was left of it, returned to the world below. But Everest remained a mystery, with their stories frozen in time and souls lost among its snow-covered peaks. The tale of Mount Everest and its brave climbers became a legend, and those who hear the sound of the wind through the snow-covered crevices wonder if Everest is indeed a peak where the earth meets the world beyond. In the heart of the Himalayas, where the air thins and the wind bites, there lies a peak that reaches the heavens, Mount Everest. Its majestic slopes conceal not only the treacherous climb to the summit, but also a chilling tale of a group of climbers who dared to challenge the mountain's icy embrace. The story begins with a team of adventurers led by the enigmatic expedition guide, Conrad Blackwood. Each member of the group had their reasons for attempting Everest's summit, drawn by the allure of conquering the world's highest peak. But Everest, with its icy breath and ominous shadows, held secrets that would test the limits of human endurance. As the climbers ascended, the weather turned from biting cold to an unforgiving storm. The wind howled like a vengeful spirit, and the temperature dropped to bone, chilling lows. The team pressed on, their determination blinding them to the warnings whispered by the local Sherpas, who spoke of ancient spirits dwelling on Everest's heights. Conrad, a man with a mysterious past, seemed driven by an unseen force. His eyes held a glint of madness as he pushed the team further into the heart of the storm. Among the climbers was Emily, an experienced mountaineer haunted by the memory of a failed ascent years ago, and Jake, a journalist seeking to uncover the truth behind the legends surrounding Everest. As the team reached higher altitudes, the mountain revealed its true nature. Strange occurrences haunted their camp at night. Eerie shadows danced on the periphery of their vision, and unexplained sounds echoed through the icy silence. The climbers dismissed these as products of exhaustion and altitude sickness, but Everest had more in store for them. One fateful night, as the storm raged outside their tents, a spectral figure appeared in the midst of the camp. Its form twisted and contorted, merging with the shadows. Conrad, seemingly unaffected, approached the apparition with a sense of reverence. The other climbers, paralyzed by fear, watched as the ghostly figure whispered something unintelligible to Conrad before dissipating into the icy wind. From that moment, the expedition took a dark turn. Unexplained accidents plagued the climbers. Equipment malfunctioned, ropes snapped, and a creeping paranoia settled over the team. Conrad's behavior became increasingly erratic, and the others began to question whether he was leading them towards the summit or into the abyss. As the climbers pressed on, the line between reality and nightmare blurred. Jake, the journalist, started experiencing vivid hallucinations, glimpses of his past intertwined with the chilling history of Everest. Emily, tormented by guilt from her previous failed attempt, began hearing voices urging her to turn back. The mountain seemed to feed on their fears, weaving them into the very fabric of its icy slopes. In the heart of the storm, the team stumbled upon an ancient cave, hidden beneath layers of ice and snow. Inside, they discovered a chamber adorned with cryptic symbols and frozen remains, remnants of climbers who had faced Everest's wrath in centuries past. The walls seemed to pulsate with a malevolent energy, and the air grew colder with each step deeper into the abyss. As they delved further into the cave's secrets, the climbers uncovered a tale of a forgotten civilization that worshipped Everest as a deity. Legends spoke of a curse that befell those who dared to disturb the mountain's slumber. It became clear that Everest was not just a physical entity, but a living, vengeful force, punishing those who sought to conquer it. Conrad, consumed by a twisted reverence for Everest, revealed his true intentions. He believed that by reaching the summit, he could commune with the mountain's ancient spirit and unlock unimaginable power. The other climbers, now trapped in a nightmarish reality, had no choice but to follow him into the frozen abyss. As they ascended the final stretch, the storm reached its peak. The wind howled like a chorus of lost souls, and the air crackled with an otherworldly energy. The climbers, battered and broken, faced the summit with a mix of dread and fascination. The mountain seemed to come alive, resonating with the heartbeat of an ancient power. In a final, chilling revelation, Conrad made a sacrificial offering to Everest, sealing his pact with the mountain. The very ground trembled as the climbers bore witness to the unleashing of an otherworldly force. Shadows danced on the icy slopes, and the air thickened with an ancient presence. Everest, having absorbed the fears and souls of those who dared challenge it, unleashed its wrath upon the world. The storm intensified, swallowing the climbers and the mountain itself in a frozen abyss. Everest, having claimed its sacrifice, returned to a foreboding silence. The world below was left with a tale of a cursed expedition, lost to the ages. And so, Mount Everest stood tall, its icy peaks hiding the secrets of an ancient force that lurked within. The chilling winds whispered a warning to those who dared disturb its slumber, ensuring that the tale of the frozen abyss would echo through the ages, a cautionary tale for those who sought to conquer the unforgiving heights.